In media, penguins are usually portrayed as friendly and cute creatures, and as it actually turns out, they're a lot like that in real life too. For proof.
नमस्कार, स्वागत है आप सभी का बकचोदी के एक नए एपिसोड में। आज अपन देखने जा रहे हैं 10 अनयूजुअल पेट्स, लोग जो अजीब अजीब जानवर रखते हैं क्योंकि उनके नशे बड़े तेज हैं। तो चलो आओ मजे लेते हैं।
It's pretty hard to find someone who doesn't like animals. After all, pets are some of the most loyal and loving partners the world has to offer. But while most people have dogs, cats, or some other small domesticated animal, there are in fact
मेरी तो कुत्तों से भी फटती है यार। ये जो स्टार्टिंग में बोला कि कौन जानवरों को नहीं पसंद करेगा, भाई मेरे को थोड़ा डर लगता है यार, मैं नहीं करता पसंद। Please, मुझे माफ करो।
Some very unusual people out there who've managed to form relationships with some animals that, in any other circumstance, would be insanely terrifying and even deadly to some extent. Still, somehow the power of friendship has prevailed, and these odd couples have formed some of the most endearing but unusual relationships on the planet. Today, we're going to look at some incredible people who have made some very unique animals their best friends. All set? Let's get it on. The Lion Whisperer. Lions, the king of the
इंट्रो कितना तगड़ा किया नहीं, द लायन विस्पर, मतलब बंदे ऐसे हुक हो जाए साला पहली बार में।
Apex predator of the savannah and cuddly best friends with humans? Well, that might sound like an insane way to get your arms ripped off. For South African sanctuary owner Kevin Richardson, cuddling with lions is one of his favorite parts of his day-to-day life. Kevin was born in Johannesburg, South Africa, a country where lions roam freely. Ever since he was a child, he had a fascination with lions, and as he got older, he began to raise lion cubs from birth.
Hello, Bobby boy.
नहीं ये तो है। अगर पैदा ही
in the
होके उसको
process,
पाला है
forming
भाई
a
तो
loving
उसको डर
bond
नहीं
as a
लगेगा
member
ज़्यादा।
of the pride. Eventually, he started his own wildlife sanctuary for lions, hyenas, leopards, and other big African predators. There
ये तो हाइनास तो सबसे हरामी होते हैं भाई। ये लोग जो झुंड में कभी-कभार आते हैं और बजा के चले जाते हैं ना।
sleeps with, feeds, and even lives among lions that he's known since they were just little Simbas. While Kevin's able to get up close and personal with these big cats, he assures people that there are dangers involved. And that the surreal images online of him cuddling with a family of 400-pound carnivores aren't anywhere near the full story. During his career, he's been scratched and even bitten by lions.
There's enough of me to go around.
But despite the risks, he loves the majestic predators and wouldn't trade his job for the world. Casey and Brutus. Grizzly bears, the gigantic North American predators that strike terror into the hearts of campers and hikers the continent over. These seemingly monstrous animals have gotten a bad reputation, and that's something Casey Anderson is working to fix.
तुम्हारे यहाँ तुम अगर ऐसे एनिमल पाल के रखे हो तो मेरे को यही है कि बच्चे तुम्हारी तो किसी से गाड़ नहीं पड़ेगी। फिर तुम अगर कहीं भी जाओगे तो ये तो है, ये बगल में घूमेंगे भाई बंदे, मतलब दूसरे जानवर तो तुम पे हमला नहीं करेंगे भाई, क्योंकि ये बजा देंगे उनकी। चलो लायन पाल के रखे हैं, भालू भाई लोग कितने ताकतवर रहते हैं।
Over a decade ago, the American man found an abandoned grizzly bear cub in Montana and began a journey to open the Montana Grizzly Encounter, a sanctuary for grizzly bears. Since then, he's raised and formed relationships with dozens of grizzlies, but none as close as Brutus, his first cub. The now over 700-pound adult bear regularly plays, cuddles, and even wrestles with Casey. And spends the rest of his time roaming free in the Montana Grizzly Encounter.
एक चीज मेरे को ना अमेरिका सबसे यही लगता है भाई, जो नॉर्मल सारी वर्ड यूज कर रही है वही करो ना भाई। केजी कितना इजीली समझ आ जाता है भाई, सबको केजी समझ आ जाएगा क्या। ये चूतिए अलग चलते हैं, पाउंड्स,
alongside
miles.
Several other bears Casey has saved and formed loving bonds with. Really goes to show that you can't judge a bear by its claws. The Wolf Man. If you were to believe most stories of old, like Little Red Riding Hood, you might think wolves are some of the most fearsome and vicious animals on the planet. And while that may be true, Sean Ellis, however, didn't believe the hype and actually decided to try and join a wild wolf pack himself. The British wolf enthusiast set out into the wilds of Idaho and found a pack of gray wolves who were caring for their young. By staying nearby and doing nothing but observing their ways and not bothering them, the wolves came to trust him over time and treated him like one of their own. Ellis ended up spending a full year among the wolves. During this time, the pack treated him as one of their own, not just playing with and feeding him, but occasionally even fighting with him if he ever broke the rules of the pack. After the year, he went back to society, which he claims was a massive culture shock. But ever since he's worked with wild and captive wolves, he's earned himself the well-deserved title of the real-life wolfman. Joao and Dindim.
बंदा इतना ज्यादा सीरियस ले लिया अपने उसको, क्या बोलते हैं यार, मैं वर्ड भूल गया भाई, मेरे मुंह में वर्ड भूल गया। जो टोलाइट में नहीं रहते यार, भालू वालू मतलब वुल्फ बन जाते हैं, ये बन नहीं पाया बेचारा वैसा। इस वजह से ये सोचा कि मैं उन लोग साथ ही रह लेता हूँ।
In media, penguins are usually portrayed as friendly and cute creatures, and as it actually turns out, they're a lot like that in real life too. For proof, you don't need to look any further than the incredible story of Joao Pereira and his feathered friend Dindim. Dindim is a Magellanic penguin, native to the waters on the coasts of South America. One day, Pereira found Dindim stranded on the beach, covered in oil from a nearby spill. The man took the suffering animal home, cleaned his feathers, and fed him fish every day until the penguin regained his strength. A few weeks later, Joao dropped him off on the nearest island, but to his surprise, just a couple of hours later, he found Dindim once again in his backyard. The penguin decided to return to his savior and stayed with him for another 11 months. Since then, Dindim swims 5,000 kilometers every year just to reconnect with his friend and hero. If that isn't true friendship, I don't know what is.
भाई साहब, चलो जिसको वीडियो देखने में मजा आया हो, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब कर देना। मैं और ऐसी तगड़े तगड़े वीडियो लेके आते रहूंगा। तब तक के लिए पीस।